So I am Justin from True Scrum Malaysia, a training provider that's based in Malaysia. All right, Kuala Lumpur. So today we have Ethan here, who is from CI Agile. It's one of our Scrum partner here that is doing this live webinar. Let's just keep it straight. It's just Scrum at home. So I think I'm just gonna pass the floor to Ethan. All right, Ethan, take it away.
Sure. It's 10:45. Please lower the music a little bit.
Yep, I'm going to off the music for now.
Yep.
Okay.
Should we wait for a few minutes for everybody to come in, or are we ready to go?
I think it's ready to go. I think the audiences are saying that yes, ready.
Okay. All of you able to see my sharing? Is every one of you able to see my Rachel, Justin, are you able to see my screen share?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So hi everybody. I'm Ethan Soo. I have been a Scrum trainer and consultant for about 13 years. I recently just came back from China and to Malaysia. So I've been working for a long time in China. So when I was in China, I worked for Microsoft. I developed software for about 140 countries. And then after that, after I left Microsoft, I started to teach people about Agile and Scrum. Today we're going to talk about Scrum from home, yeah? So I take it that many of you come here, you already know a little bit of Agile, or some of you don't know about Agile. If you can write me on your chat whether you know what Scrum and Agile is, your experience and things like that. Give me a brief word. It will be fantastic. It will let me know more about you so that I can tune my presentation to fit more of your taste and desire. Yeah. So let's start today by a story. Okay. This is me. Obviously, a very short introduction of me, so I won't go over that again. Let's start today's story by talking about cooking dinner. Now we are an MCO right now, and everybody have to buy things to eat or to cook dinner, right? So let's start our story by cooking dinner, by looking at how we do it. So a very thoughtful friend of mine, he planned this entire dinner thing like this, right? So so he would start by thinking about what to eat, and then after he's done about what to eat, okay, Eastern, Western, spicy, not spicy, right? Then he will think about what am I going to buy, so that I can prepare for tonight's dinner, right? So, and then after he have done doing that, okay, I've planned it, I've designed it already. I go out to buy the ingredient. Maybe I go to Pasar, maybe I go online, maybe I do something to buy and cook for it. And at the end of my cooking, right, I will want to taste it to see whether it's good or not good. This is very, very thoughtful in that it's segregating the thoughts into multiple stages. And I can complete one stage of thoughts and work before moving on to another stages of work, right? So this is my friend with a very thoughtful friend that's with a good planning. So it's breaking down the process into this, right? And in simple fact, we call it analysis, design, implementation, and testing. And if you guys have been doing project, have been doing work, most of you would gone through this project before, right? This is, sorry, most of you have gone through this process before, right? Because this is how it works in our company. This is how we have been educated to think, work, and plan this way, right? It's just like cooking dinner, we also can plan this way. Now the problem of this, right, is that when we are cooking dinner like this, right, we don't, everybody start to do it in bulk, right? So we expand the cooking dinner, not from tonight, but to think about, all right, so let's think about what to eat for the next 6 months. So we have to think about that. We have to confirm that. We have to confirm everything. We have to know that the next 6 months, what am I gonna eat? And then I do a massive design. So first week, second week, third week, things like this. I buy everything in bulk for 6 months, right? So, and after I bought everything, I cook in a very, very long period of time so that all 6 months of things can be done. And after I finish cooking for everything, that's for 6 months, I then start to taste it and try it. Now, the problem from just now is that, okay, we are thinking about dinner for one night, right? The problem of this is that we are thinking about dinner for 6 months, right? And this is typically how we work in our company as well, right? So we think about project, we think about work, we think about product, we all think about it 6 months, 9 months, 2 years, 1 year, and things like that. A very long horizon. Now, if you put it back to the dinner situation, right? What's wrong about this? All right, I have to think carefully and know exactly what I have to eat or what my family have to eat in the next 6 months. How many times I need to eat out, how many times I need to cook, everything must be planned ahead, right? And when I go to buy, right, I go to buy in one shot. So I want to make sure that everything I plan is executed correctly. If there's any wrong on my planning, I'm gonna buy the wrong things. And when I'm gonna buy the wrong things, right, when I cook it, right, I will be cooking the wrong thing or I'll be unable to cook it at all, right? And at the end of it, I don't even get to see where everything's wrong in the previous steps before I taste it, before I show my user, which is my kids, my wife, my husband, my family, and let them taste it. So they get to taste it at the very end of it, right? Further deepen the problem. The way this work process is designed, right, is that one of the key criteria is that things must not change. What I plan to eat, right, for the next 6 months, right, must not change. If there's anything changed, right, it will cause the stage that when I'm going out to buy, I'll buy the wrong thing. Because why? You give me a list and your list changed. I already bought my ingredient. I cannot do it. So I'm going to force you to not make any change at all. And once I bought the ingredient, I give it to the cook, right? And the cook say, well, you cannot change it because this is all the ingredient I have, right? So I'm gonna cook as is instructed, you must not change. And at the end of it, right, after a cook have been very busy cooking it, you're giving a very short time for people to taste it and try it out. So the entire process, right, you see, the must not change is having a problem, and the very short time frame at the end of it is going to have a problem. Why? Because the first two stages, right, in order for you to be successful, you cannot be wrong. And when you cannot be wrong, then you need to have a lot of time to analyze, a lot of time to design, because you are unable to change it. So it's fair for you to take a long time. And when you take a long time, right, you squeeze the time for the last guy, for the testing guy. He's unable to have sufficient time to test, right? So in this work process, the no change and the short time frame is going to have a problem. Now, thinking about the COVID situation, right? Situation changed immediately, right? That happened to your business, that happened to your dinner, everything based on COVID changing. Well, if you are like me, if you stay in Malaysia, your situation changed as well, because we don't even know who will be our next prime minister. What is his policy? We have no idea, right? So if we have a work process that's assuming that we can do everything upfront correctly, analyze correctly, design correctly, right? Look at the situation here in Malaysia today. Can you plan who is the next prime minister? Can you plan what is his policy is? You can't. So that is the problem, is this work process, right? It cannot cater for anything that's changing rapidly at all. It's trying to hold steady the process so that the change will not occur. It's forcing everything and control everything so that change cannot occur. But in reality, Today, we are working from home. Today, we are dealing uncertainty with our political landscape. Today, we are dealing uncertainty with the COVID landscape. Things have to change. So if the situation have to change and your work process is blocking it from change, you have misalignment, all right? And I hope to see that I hope you can see that the problem is showing up because of the way we work does not fit for the environment that we have today. So what does people do under these kind of circumstances? When we are working this way, using this process, right? When we are building a company, when we are hiring people, when we are putting in department and things like this, our people is allocated based on our work process, right? So I'm gonna give the first responsibility, the analysis responsibility to some business and strategy and marketing guy. They are responsible to think about what we should be doing, right? Or what we should be eating for the next 6 months. And then these guys, right, is going to pass it down after they have done their job. They're going to pass it down to someone that do the actual design, right? That means the buying of the ingredients, assemble into a system. They do all the design. So typically you have the business analysts, system analysts, and architects doing these things, right? And when they are done with their design, they pass into a creation team. If you're in software, you create software. If you're in service, you create service. If you're in marketing, you create marketing copies and things like this. Whatever your company is producing, the creation team will create the product. At the end of it, the testing team will test whether the product is good or not. So this, right, we are segregating our people into different work streams, different work verticals, and we are propagating the information. We are passing document to other people, right? The business guy, the strategy guy, and marketing guy, once they're done with their thinking, their analysis, they give a document to the design guy. So the business guy is going to give you a document called business requirement specification document. All right. So a design guy would take it. They will give a software design, or if you're in software or whatever design, right? They're going to give a document to the creation team. The creation team can be in-house, can be a vendor. You can hire, outsource, whatever, right? You give document to them. They will base on your document and produce the finished products. All of these parties, right? The way we build our company, the way we are having the department, the way we are having people right now is designed for them to work in silo, minimum collaboration, and documents, and passing information via document. Ask yourself, in your company, is the marketing department cares about what you are doing right now? Is the sales department care about what marketing is doing right now? Is the sales and marketing care about what the operation people are doing right now? Are you guys even on the same page? For most of you, it's no. It's no, because our process is like this. So we hire people to map to our process like this. And this process is designed to be like this. Minimum collaboration, everybody work in silo. I pass the document to you so that you know what I mean, right? Okay. So I hope up to this point, right, you already seeing some of the problem I'm trying to highlight to you, in that if you prepare dinner this way, I'm sure the people that's eating the dinner will not like it. And just like many people talk about it in your company, the product that we are delivering to our customer, when they're seeing it, they're unhappy. They're unhappy because they don't get what they wanted at all. And if you look back at this process, right, the person that's doing the analysis and the person that's doing the design, they're different people. Implementation, they're different people, right? So the understanding could be different because it's propagated, the information is propagated by a document, not seldom anything better than that, all right? And the process is assuming that we have to do it one time and we have to do it correctly. And when we are passing the document to other people, everything is done correctly. There'll be no change, no change. Any change, I will charge you money, I'll charge you effort, I'll create a CR. The process is extremely extremely long, right? So the problem that we are seeing here, we are putting the people like this because our process is like this. And if our people and processes like this, the collaboration model that follow naturally is like this. And it is creating a problem because the world is no longer like this. The situation changed very rapidly. Think about political situation in Malaysia. Think about the COVID situation in Malaysia. You get instantaneously what it means, right? So we are using a very old work process and model. We are hiring people and putting people in the team in a very old-fashioned way. This old-fashioned way started from 1900 something. Started very early. It got fine-tuned, and when it arrived at about the 1970s, some experts from the United States, right, documented into a process. It's called a waterfall process. And for the past 40 years, we have been following this thing through because we thought that this process is great. It's taught to us in our university. When we are in our university, our professor asks us to do project this way. So it's not our fault. It's not your fault, but it's painful for you to see that this thing is not working. And every time you're facing a customer, every time you're working within your own company to create this result, it's painful all the time. Just ask yourself whether you feel this. All right. So nowadays we are seeing great products delivered to the market. Now this is Apple product. I am Apple fans. I love Apple product. They are very cool. They are very innovative. They give you a lot of value. Right. How many of you owns one of these products? Go ahead and write it down on the chat, right? If you own one of these products, right? And it's really good. And we are seeing traditional software company changing, right? From the old like Microsoft Windows 95, 98 kind of like system to this like cloud first, mobile first system that you can get an update every month, every 2 months, right? If you use Windows 10, you know what I mean. Windows 10 get updated every 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You have a major spring update and a fall update. If you use Apple, it's the same thing. Mac OS get updated every spring, every fall, and their interior update as well. In the old time, when people are using the method that I'm talking about, the waterfall method, well, your Windows 98 doesn't get updated, isn't it? Every time your Windows 98 get updated, you need to buy a new CD and install to it, and it's just seldom or never, you never do that. And now Office 365 even perform update behind the scene, right, without you knowing it. Okay. People are not just using this new way to work on just software. Innovative product nowadays, right, use the new way to work as well. And it's not the same as the waterfall that I talk about. Now, to the upper right, there's SpaceX. They are creating rocket that can fly back to the base after they launch, saving a lot of money. NASA, for the 40 years they have been doing this business, right? They cannot develop something that fly back. A small company, SpaceX, can do that. To the upper left, there's a car called Taycan, right? It's a Porsche. It's launched in Malaysia about a year ago. It became the hottest selling car in Porsche Malaysia. Now, when I came back to Malaysia, I need a new car, and I test drive several cars. I went to Porsche. They told me that okay, every year we are selling about 400 something car, right? For Porsche Malaysia. Once this car is launched, the first several months that that's been launched, they get so many pre-order that this model alone, they get more business for this model alone compared to every other model combined. And this is one of the first car that Porsche is created using the new way of work. The one below is Tesla, automatic driving system, many things. This is a very powerful product that not many people know. Why? Because this product, right, the car, get automatically updated continuously for their automatic driving system, dashboard system, entertainment system. Everything is like your Windows 10 get updated constantly. These are the product, right, that we couldn't imagine that could be created with the old process. And a lot of people start to admire, hey, why are these people, right? They can create this fantastic product like this. Why SpaceX the rocket can fly back, and why can't the NASA, they did it for 40 years, they cannot do it? Well, because there's a new way to work, right? And this new way to work obviously is called Agile, right? So many of you perhaps heard of the word Agile, and it triggered many of you to take a look into this. What does the Agile mean and things like this, right? Because all the fancy, all the good things, all the newest product that sell crazily into a market, and all the good things that's happening in works are towards this direction, and not the traditional, the cook the dinner kind of direction. All right. So, and maybe some of you get from the internet, hey, what this Agile concept is, right? It's customer focused, it's collaboration oriented, it's plan, do, check, act in a small iteration. Now, some of you might have heard of the term plan, do, check, act. If you do, write it down in the chat comment and tell me that you know plan, do, check, act, right? In small iteration. And it's creating great product like Tesla. Well, you know, Tesla is it already beaten Toyota to be the world's largest car manufacturer, or by market cap, right? The largest car company. Toyota is not able to compete with Tesla because the way they produce car is really, really different, right? That's a long story. If you are interested to know more about Toyota and Tesla, why some wins and why some loses, right? I can tell this story to you next time, right? Maybe it's idea for another webinar. But the conclusion I want to give you is, it's a new way to work. Agile is a new way to work. It's not the old way to work, right? And a lot of you heard about this, oh, new way to work. So you search on the internet and you see pictures like this, wow, so fun, so cool, all this like fantastic gimmick, right? So you want to put it into your own company. And do you guys know in Malaysia, how do we do it? This is the way we do it, right? Well, we learn some Agile practices from the internet, right? They are so fun, they are so cool. Every good thing is associated with this. So the bosses want to get this thing into the company and leverage this thing to make them better, right? So they send 1 to 2 employees to get trained. And after that, we look at this like very smart, handsome young man, right? To be a highly capable employee, right? They're sending this employee into the training, right? And after this 1 or 2 employees get trained and come back, right? They will, the bosses will ask them, okay, this is the way we work, right? The waterfall process is the way we work. Please don't change it. This is the way that we are building our team, building our department. Our marketing is our marketing. Our product is our product. Our software is our software. Whatever. Don't mix them up. Please keep everybody in the same team. Please use the same process. Maybe you can bring 1 or 2 Agile practices to uplift the process and make everybody better. So this 1 or 2 individual, right, highly capable employee, right, is tasked to change a company that's like 3,000 people that has been in existence for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. That these 3,000 people have been using the same process for a long time. And the bosses, think about this, and the bosses, after they train 1 or 2 people, is asking them to insert some Agile practices, Agile elements to it, and to make the company change. Well, does it work? You're not changing the way you construct the team. You're not changing the way to collaborate. You're still relying on the documents, right? You're not changing the process that much, but you're trying to, well, you know, like rename the process to like Agile-like, right? And you're asking 1 or 2 people to change a company that's like 3,000 people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people. underneath, you still work in silo. Your marketing team still does not care about your sales team. Your sales team still do not care about your engineering team. Your engineering team still do not care about your operation team. After we develop whatever product, that's the operation team for maintenance, not related to us. You are still working in silo, maybe a little bit better collaboration, but the situation, the fundamentals of your company does not change. Think about this problem. All right. So, and after that, right? After that, the boss is not going to see that much change, right? And he keep on searching on the internet. And there's a lot of good things about this new way to work. You know, the product TikTok, once it's come out of China, it's go through the entire world. They take over the world by storm, right? Even YouTube nowadays need to create something called YouTube Short just to counter them. And there's so many people try to counter TikTok, right? Why is that? Why is it so successful? And the car's been selling so well, it's beating it's beating the traditional car vendors like quite a bit, right? Even BMW for the past 2 years has a lot of panic because all these other car manufacturers are beating them. That all these car manufacturers that use a new way to work. So they are BMW in German. They are struggling to change as well, right? And all the nice thing about the Agile team, happy teams, don't have that much overtime. Everybody care about everybody. Everybody work with everybody to solve the problem. Very harmony, very happy, very highly productive workforce. Well, the boss just now are not seeing it at all. And the project success rate is going to increase tremendously according to industrial survey. And the boss is again not seeing it. You see, the problem of using the same people structure, using the same process structure, get 1 or 2 people get trained, insert some practices into it, it's not going to help you. So you're not seeing this, and some of the bosses say, oh, okay, Agile doesn't work, Scrum doesn't work, this is not me, this is fake, this is lie, I don't know, let's stop doing it, let's find another magic bullet. And that's what we are seeing in Malaysia. Tell me in comments if you are seeing it too, right? So after that, right, some of the bosses will realize this, right? Oh, maybe that we really cannot just get trained off the internet. Maybe we just cannot get Agile practice off the internet. Maybe we send them to 1 or 2 Agile trainings or whatever. And this is so the HR is going to look for vendors, okay, that can give us the very good training in Agile. And the best Agile training is in Scrum, so the HR just go out to find Scrum training. Now there are 2 kinds of vendors that you'll find in Malaysia, 2 kinds, right? The first type of Scrum training, it teaches you how to install a process and run a process in your organization. Is talking about Agile and Scrum is a process that you can bring back to your existing organization, like the picture just now, right? Install the process into it and keep on adding practices and practices and practices into it, right? So to make your organization more agile, more practices is going to make your organization more agile. Installing this process and follow this process through is going to make you more agile. Right? That's type 1 of the vendor. The first type you'll find. The second type of the vendor you'll find, right, is to teach you that Agile and Scrum, you better get to learn it from a document. There's a guide. Learn from the guides. Yeah, learn from the guides, understand the guide, and you will be able to turn your organization around, right? They're going to give you a 20 pages guide where it defines what Scrum is. It's going to teach you line by line, word by word, what it means. And hopefully by understanding the document, you are able to change your organization. The same organization, the same Scrum trainers wants you to send your people to get level 1 training, level 2 training, level 3 training. And it's telling you that once you get many certificates, your people will be good. And since your people will be good, your organization will be good. So get more training, get more certificate, get your people, everybody get to have many certificates. And approach like this, we are seeing in the industry, people that come up with 20 Agile certificates. And they're trying to prove their credential to us by showing off how many certificates they have. We have to know that to go back to your company to change, to practice Scrum and make Scrum work for your company, it's like you riding a bicycle or motorcycle. Once you get your license, right, you get advanced license, very advanced license, expert license, right, that's not really going to be helpful. You know how you can get better at bicycling and motorcycling? You go onto your motorcycle and you go onto your bicycle. You ride it. You do it. Do you know how you get better of swimming and playing badminton? How do you get better at badminton? You get certificate after certificate after certificates. So you get badminton certified level 1, level 2, level 3, and then you're a better badminton player? Oh, you go and play badminton with the real people and be competitive and really want to push for result and train yourself, change all this weightlifting training, whatever diet to change to make yourself good. And it's the practice that make yourself skillful, not level 1, level 2, level 3 certificates. And you don't get to become a better badminton player by just following process and adding practice onto it. You tune your landscape to make it work, which we are going to talk about it later. So these are the two type of things that you will encounter, right? So why is it not working? It's not working. It's not working in the sense that the direction of advancement is already incorrect. And with this COVID political situation in Malaysia, COVID situation is going to make people work from home. It's going to make you more detached. So if you are using this kind of collaboration model, where the marketing people does not even care about what sales is doing, and sales does not care about what operation is doing. So with working from home, I'm so sorry. Even the business people are not going to care about what the other business people are doing, because you are not going to see each other in office. The degree of collaboration degrades substantially because there's no linkage of these people to bind them together into a very cohesive system. And it's going to magnify because when Google and other companies that does survey to ask their employee, hey, going forward from here, are you going to go back to your company to work full-time or hybrid? Some go back to the company, some work at home or fully remote. Over 70% of the employee indicated that they either want hybrid or work from home. Very seldom that they will say, I prefer going back to the office. So this situation that's going to break your current work structure is going to break your current work structure for a long time. So enter Dr. Jeff Sutherland, the one that's invented Scrum, the one that he's co-creating Agile with 16 other people. His knowledge are what we call the original knowledge. In the early days, around 1995, when we started to teach people, he started to teach his Scrum knowledge to all the other people so the other people can use it. He's a very academic person, and he was a CTO. He is the person that he always want to work in his company, help his company to be good. He never thought of selling his knowledge. He's never thought of selling training or things like this. So he's just allowing other people to do it. He passed his original knowledge to other people. So other people, if they want to train, if they want to consult, whatever, make money out of it, I don't care. I'm just staying back in my company, do research because I'm very academic. I want to do a good job, right? The original knowledge is something that we know today that is the only thing that works immediately. If you're buying Apple product, if you buy from Apple Store, if your charger is broken, if you buy it from Apple Store, you plug it in, it will work immediately. If you buy your Apple charger from Pasar Malam, if you buy your charger from a small shop in here, maybe it will work for a while. Can it continuously work like the original? We don't know. So to know the Agile and to know Scrum, it's very important to know Dr. Sutherland, what the original knowledge is. What is the knowledge that's documented very earlier, instead of a generation and generation trainer and knowledge gap, right? Right. The real story of Scrum began in 1983, where Dr. Sutherland was hired from a university to go into a company to become a CTO. He took over a worst money-losing business unit and turned it around to be most profitable business unit in 6 months. It is a very large and very complicated environment. It's a bank. So take a note at this. The real Scrum story begins when Dr. Sutherland turned a worst money-losing BU to a most profitable BU in 6 months for a bank. So it is something that we use to generate result and outcome, just like documented like this. So if we use Scrum correctly, you should repeat the same kind of result, turn a worst money-losing BU to a very profitable money BU, turn a very non-functioning project into a functioning project, turn a very defective team into a very efficient team in a very short amount of time. If you have been using Scrum and you have not seen it after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, sorry, you are not doing the right thing. You are not using the original knowledge. You have been missing something and we don't know what's missing. All right. So what we really want to do is to have a connected workforce with True Scrum. This is Dr. Sutherland's idea. How does he solve the problem of changing the worst money-losing BU to the most profitable BU? Is only two things: connected workforce and True Scrum, right? First, when he entered the worst money-losing BU, he changed the team so that it's just ordinary team. He changed it to be a highly effective team, highly efficient team that's ready for any battle. He's changing a team that's doing daily work, BAU, just come in, come out, right? Following a process, things like this, to become a team that's ready to fight a battle, that know what their vision is, that know what the committed result is, and fight for it. He also teach everybody to target business outcome in the team. If you're talking about you're doing a good job, and if your company go bankrupt, sorry, you're not doing a good job. I don't care what kind of practices you use. You can throw me any fancy word, lean, agile, whatever, whatever, right? If your company go bankrupt, I'm sorry, you're not doing a good job, right? So he's teaching everybody to target business outcome and strive to make the company as successful as possible. So he have a lot of way of doing it, and he documented it into something that we call True Scrum knowledge. I'm going to show you a little bit of it, right? And then the second part, True Scrum is going to make the teams in your company works really well, really powerful team. So your marketing is going to become a very strong marketing unit, and your sales is going to be a very strong sales unit. Your software creation team is going to be a very strong software creation team, right? That's not the every day I come to work, follow a process kind of team. It's a very strong outcome-oriented team. And the second part is to connect this team into a high-speed network. Think about your phone, right? If you have a very fast and very good phone, You are just a single dot in a network. In order for it to be useful, all these dots should be connected by a high-speed network. That's why you're upgrading to 5G, right? So the second idea is to connect everybody, every single team in the company into a high-speed communication and collaboration network. Now, notice the difference here. The old way to work, everybody works silo. Marketing don't care about sales, sales don't care about operation don't care about something else, right? Right. That's a silo network. That's propagate information with documents. A connected network, everybody is connected. They are given the same goal. They are given the same company vision. They are given the same company priority. So everybody is pushing through the same priority. And any information change in the world, COVID, political, whatever things, right? It gets propagated down the company communication channel instantaneously. Even the senior leader, the CEO, the CTO, and the COO connects with you and empower all the employees. And that's the idea. All right. Very powerful team, connect with the networks, right? In essence, this is what we mean. So you have the hierarchical order here, like this, right? Everybody goes and command and control, things like this, right? This is a traditional work structure that everybody have, right? You report to your manager report to another manager, things like this. It changes to a crowd-based structure. If you look at today, the computing today, the crowd, how is it designed, right? Microservice, how is it designed? The idea is to change this team into a microservices, a very powerful one, and connect all the microservices together in a very high-speed network. And that's the new way of doing work in your company, all right? And at the team level, to make it a very good team, a very powerful team, right? Dr. Sutherland documented the knowledge into something we call the True Scrum, which is different from the Scrum that's teaching you to be level 1, level 2, level 3, which is different from the Scrum that you're taking in process and practices and things of this. A True Scrum system is a lean system. If you know about the lean manufacturing, it's the lean system with the flow that optimized for flow. It's a highly productive and very scalable because it's connected with a high-speed network. And this is something we call True Scrum. Remember, yeah? True Scrum, the original, the real thing, is different from the process-oriented Scrum, where you just install a process in the company, everybody follow the process. That's not True Scrum. True Scrum is not something that you should take, like, it's for practice, it's to make your company good. It's not to encourage you to take more and more certificate. That's not the way True Scrum is. True Scrum, when Dr. Sutherland designed True Scrum, they want the company to work, they want the team to work well. They want the team to service the company, create the business outcome the company wants, together with the senior leader, which empower you, solve problem for you, make your work faster through a high-speed network. So the real way to solve this problem is to understand Agile, then understand True Scrum, connect your company with a high-speed connection network instead of the silo where marketing don't care about sales, sales don't care about operation, right? Things like this. So Dr. Sutherland, around the year of 2015, Dr. Sutherland realized that he cannot, there's so much gap between what he's teaching us to what is the thing that's being practiced today. So he's creating his own training course and give you the PPT for it. Now, he's doing that because he's trying to preserve the real story so that the real good thing does not disappear. And many of us, when we are reading, when we are learning it and using it in our company, we do not see result. 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, we do not see result. Our company is not doing better. Our product does not sell better. Our market share does not increase. There's no business outcome, but we are doing Scrum now. I'm sorry, those are not Scrum. Not the True Scrum. True Scrum bring result almost immediately. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You should see instant change in the topics that I described just now. Use this to be a judgment, all right? And when it's in action, in office, it's like this, right? You see a lot of sticky notes, you see a lot of collaboration, a new way to work, right? Which is fun and cool. Nowadays, when we are working from home, we are migrating this part of this process, all this sticky note and things like this, into the work from home tools. We are recreating this electronic board. We are creating the risk reduction technique and everything into an electronic board that even our company is using every day, right? Every morning, 9:30 a.m., our whole company is going to take a look at this, look at the performance of the team, look at the priority of the team, right? So if you look to the big picture on the right, there's a gray card on top, that's our yearly goal, right? It gets broken down into quarterly goal, and the 3 gray card on the right is our quarterly goal. And on the quarterly goal, we break down into what to do into different department and different team. So you see the 3 bracket there. That's the team 1, team 2, and team 3. Everybody is aware of what everybody's doing. Everybody will help. Everybody does their job better because they have the same goal, the gray card to the right, right? So the company is united onto the single vision, single priority, right? So Trainocate Justin, if he's creating this webinar, right? If this is a priority, everybody, marketing helps, sales help, operations help, everybody help, so to make Justin successful. And this is the kind of feeling that I want you guys to enjoy when you're using the True Scrum, right? Everybody work together on the same priority, right? And bring the same result, right? So I've spoken about an hour already. In conclusion, I want to tell you this, right? In today's world, where we are dominated by hybrid work model and people are starting to work from home, the waterfall process that you have been following, or the Agile in the names only, I put some practices into my company, hope it works, no longer works for you. The Scrum process, even though you use it, that follow the process, they try to teach you on to get more certificate, that's no longer working. It's making our collaboration worse and worse and worse in this changing environment. To solve the changing environment, to solve this problem is actually not that difficult. You don't want processes and practices. You want results. You want business outcome, right? In Malaysia, I have 2 restaurant chains that I like a lot. One of them is called Uncle Don. If you live in KL, maybe you've been there before. The other one is called Blue House. Well, Blue House has been closed for a long time. Uncle Don has been open and been able to re-optimize their business into takeaway, even their draft beer packages. They are open for business. They are re-optimizing every product line to do takeaway. Which one is better? Blue House is better or Uncle Don is better? Looking from the business outcome side, you know, Uncle Don is open, Blue House is closed. You don't want process and practices, you want result. Process and practices may not help you. You want result, you optimize for it. Once you know the result, you break down the result into goals. You break down the deliverables to make sure that result happens. You optimize for business outcome. You unify everybody, all the teams, into the same correct working model, and you push the result together. The end result is that your business remain open instead of closed, right? Work from home make everything worse. If your workforce is not connected because you use waterfall, or if it's not connected because you use the process-oriented Agile and Scrum, or it's not connected because you send 1 or 2 people and try to make them change the 7,000 people company, they can't. So sorry to hear that. A connected workforce is going to solve this problem for you. You want to change your company into a high-speed network. At least you have to know how to leverage this high-speed network to link up everybody in the company. True Scrum works immediately. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months tops. If you don't see result in 3 months, we are doing it incorrectly, right? In 6 months, Dr. Sutherland is going to change, was able to change the worst money-losing business unit to the most profitable business unit, and that's a business unit. The entire business unit in a bank, very complicated one. how big is, how complex is the bank. If you understand, like if you've been to, if you work for Maybank, if you work for CIMB, if you work for OCBC, if you work for other bank, you know what I mean. And the original knowledge works for you immediately, right? Hopefully you can think about getting this, right? You don't have to pay money for it, right? In order to propagate the knowledge for Dr. Sutherland, he asked me if I want to really share my knowledge in the Asia Pacific region, because he saw that I've been having quite a number of years in this, right? I started 2003, and I become a professional trainer consultant 2009. That's like 10 plus years already, right? Almost close to 20 years. So we have written articles and all these books, right, for it. So if you're interested, go to talk to Justin, go to talk to Rachel. They should be able to give you a copy of this for free. Now, not the red book though. Red book is from the Dr. Jeff Sutherland. If you really want to look at things from his perspective, it's a great, absolutely great book to read. So go and buy it. So if you just want to get a very fast, like kind of like 2 to 3 hours of self-paced reading, ask Justin, ask Rachel, they should be able to give you for free, right? So go and learn that. What we really want you to do is to learn the real knowledge, bring it back to your company, work for your company, change your company, make your company deliver business outcome. You do it for the company, you do it for your boss, you do it for senior management, right? Make the company works. And remember, you don't have to pay for this, right? Just go to get the True Scrum Discovery Kit. They should be able to get you started right away. Practice this first, see if it makes sense. If it makes sense, then learn more. At least by going through the starter point like this, you are on the right path, you're learning the real things. And I hope you will have a very good time doing it. If you have any questions or any problems or any inquiry, go ahead and connect with me via LinkedIn. If you search for me, Ethan Soo on LinkedIn, you should be able to get me, right? It's the same picture. Once you see my picture, connect with me and then tell me that you attended the webinar and you like knowledge or you want to learn more. Just let me know. I will teach you to the best of my knowledge, right? I will not ask you for any money for it. Don't worry, right? What we really want is to preserve Dr. Sutherland's original knowledge, right? Make the original knowledge work for everybody. When we are living in Southeast Asia, right? Many of the good trainer, many of the most advanced things in the world, right? We are not enjoying it. I don't know why. I grew up in Malaysia, right? I left Malaysia when I was 18 to go to the United States to study. And throughout all this year, right, I'm noticing most of the advanced things, right, started from Asia, started from US, Europe, and remains there. Us in Malaysia, right, we are catching up. We need to hire good people from like from these places, the Ang Mo and things like this, right, in order to teach us the real knowledge. That is the reason Dr. Sutherland asked me if I want to bring back his knowledge. He has selected me to represent him to help everybody in the Southeast Asia and Asia Pacific region. Well, that's the end of my sharing already. I hope that you enjoy the sharing. I pass the microphone back to Rachel and Justin. So to continue the next section.
Yep, thank you so much, Ethan, for sharing. I believe the audience have a very good insights on your sharing. I believe now we should come to the Q&A session. I'm seeing quite a number of good questions of people asking about True Scrum and about Scale Agile framework and stuff like that. So should we go ahead and answer them now?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Ethan,
go ahead.
Yep.
Okay, so let me go with the first question. Okay, he's actually asking, I'm intrigued by the True Scrum. How is it actually different from Scrum? I think they need more details apart from sharing, and I believe Ethan is able to give that.
Okay, it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit difficult to tell everything in like 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. So let me try. Yeah, let me try. So True Scrum, right? And non-True Scrum. So the story goes like this. Dr. Sutherland teach in 1995, right? He started to teach people the thing that he discovered, because from 1983 to 1995, right? He had been through a lot, optimized it a lot, learned a lot, right? So he needs to write it down. So when he write it down, right, he wrote it in a document. And to be fair, everybody that read the document, right, get it differently. It's just like your requirement document. If you read your requirement document, you get different information. Different people get different information and see different perspective, right? So the first round of trainers, they learn a lot, and then they teach about the same message. And then come the second generation of trainer, third generation of trainer. Most of the trainer that you guys are able to reach today are the fifth generation of trainer. So when we are small, right? Have you watched TV program where the first guy passed a message to the second guy passed a message to the third guy, fourth guy, fifth guy? So, and then once you check the first guy and the fifth guy, right, the message covered. And that is happening in Scrum as well. And we call that the Scrum that develops in this path, right, after passing through several generations, right, the Scrum that we are using. Right in the middle of 2010, right, Dr. Sutherland being asked by some Japanese say that, hey, we are losing your original message. We want you to come back and document the original message and teach it one more time. So Dr. Sutherland just did that, right? And he wrote it in his PPT, and that's documented in the Scrum Inc, Scrum Master and Product Owner course, right? So in summary here, we give you three main important points. The true Scrum, the real Scrum, always use Lean and always optimize your organization with Lean. A lot of people learn about Lean in the manufacturing line. If you are Intel, you know how to learn it in use it in your manufacturing line, but you might not know how to use it in your organization structure, organization design. How do we use Lean to make the sales team work better with the marketing team? And how do we make the marketing team work better with the production team? How do we use the concept? So what is one thing that's very different? If you learn Scrum from other trainers, they don't teach you Lean. They don't teach you Lean. They don't teach you Scrum from the Lean perspective. And Dr. Sutherland thinks that that's the main driver, because that's how he designed it, Lean. Second thing, true Scrum always focus on hyper-productive. Is your team hyper-productive? If your team hyper-productive right now, if you just use the ordinary Scrum that you learn elsewhere, there's no mention of hyper-productive. You just follow a process. Whether the outcome of process, I don't know. Whether you're hyper-productive, I don't know. The second key difference is true Scrum always encourage you and give you ways to optimize your team so that they are hyper-productive. Hyper-productive in the sense that they are able to do twice your current work with half the current time, with the same amount of people and no overtime. That is something called, Dr. Jeff Sutherland said, the higher productive team, right? If you can't even arrive at that, twice the work in half the time, then you're not hyper productive. And Dr. Sutherland, to be fair, Dr. Sutherland to all the elite trainers tell us that you could do more than that. The third thing is linear scalability. Is this a single team or is it multiple team system? How many people does your project have? 30, 20, right? You need a multi-team system. And when you scale up the system, it doesn't generate overhead. That means if you have 10 sales going into 30 sales, and if you have marketing team have 5 people going into 8 people, if your software team going to 20 to 500, it does not generate overhead that much. Minimum, very minimum. We call it linear scalability. There are 3 differences. All right, Rachel.
Thank you so much. Okay, the next question is actually coming from Hamiza. She's actually asking, based on your experience, do we need somebody to govern the Agile adoption? If yes, is he or she should be from the leadership level or team level? And how hard is it to establish the true Scrum?
Okay, this is the short answer is yes. But if I just answer you yes like this, I think it will give you a wrong impression. So you need to learn a little bit more to say that. The short answer is yes, right? Look at the True Scrum guide first. Look at the True Scrum Discovery Kit first, and once you have read that, ask the same question again. That would be more appropriate, right? Rachel?
Okay. The next question is actually, okay, it's from an anonymous. Is it important for people to believe in Scrum as it is being rolled out or implemented? If so, how do we get people to start believing in Scrum and take it to support its implementation?
Well, True Scrum is going to deliver result immediately, 1 month, 2 months, right? The result is going to convince everybody. You have a happier team. You have a much more productive team compared to the work to the way that you have been doing. Well, if you are not seeing this, then you are not doing Scrum the True Scrum way. So True Scrum have no problem of convincing other people. So Rachel, after you join our company, right? So how do you feel when we are using Scrum compared to your previous environment where you are not using Scrum?
I would say everyone in the team, including myself, know the work in progress. How is it being done? And all of the team members, like all of us, really know that what each other are taking part of and what business priority we should really focus on solving first. Yeah.
How do you feel about the collaboration and the help among everybody in the company?
Frankly speaking, at the beginning, it takes some time to familiarize with it. But I think after 2 tries or 3 tries, which is like by the 3rd time we are collaborating with each other, right? Somehow or rather, the team have this kind of synergy that they don't really need to talk, but the minute they see things on board or they see this thing happening, they know what to do next. And all of us are this way, I believe.
And that's very, very much different compared to marketing team don't care about sales don't care about operation don't care about software. It's very different from that, right? And you feel it. Right?
Very different. Yep, it's very different. It's more of the knowledge sharing that things that somehow relates to us but may not be something that we are accountable for, something like this.
Yeah, think about this. If you compare 2 companies, right? One company used the old way where nobody cared about nobody, right? And the second company used a new way where everybody care about everybody and help everybody to be successful, right? Which business you think is going to be stronger on the way forward?
Definitely.
Very simple logic, right? Very simple logic, just yourself. Very simple logic.
Yep.
All right, next questions?
Yep, okay. So next question is, okay, how would you better measure the agility of the team by using Scrum aside from the releases that you have completed? How to better show it to the bosses that this is working, not by just saying it?
Dr. Sutton advised only one thing, business results. Is my product selling better? Is my product gaining market share? Is my product delivering the figures I'm delivering? Right? So it's all external result that's not manipulated by the team, right? You have to define some of this yourself, right? If the result is not coming, don't tell me you are doing good. Don't tell me you are doing your process is whatever good, your practices is whatever good, your stand-up meeting, your planning meeting, however good it is, your result is not showing, sorry, you're not good.
Yep. Thank you so much.
It's very different from the True Scrum aspect of this, right? It's very different from other teaching.
Yep, true enough. Okay. Another question is, okay, I think this is a good question, but a simple one. How to create a connected workforce? How to ensure that people are connected?
Well, you work for it, and once you learn the knowledge of the basic or what the connected network means, right? At the Scrum at scale knowledge, right? Once you learn the knowledge, then you will be able to implement it. It's actually not that hard, right? There's the communication mechanism set up between teams, and they are frequently executed so that every team is connected and know what each other is doing. As it's very important because as things change, right? So everybody needs to change. For example, today we are hosting a webinar. Let's say because of the politics of Malaysia, nobody is going to be able to host an online meeting today. Let's say this. And then Rachel and Justin, as they are the hosts, will be devastated, right? They only know the thing 3 days ago, let's assume, right? Because our PM just resigned 3 days ago. Let's say if they have the change, encounter change like this, they have to find a way to propagate this information into the work system. And marketing have to rework the poster. The service agent have to rework of the telling the other people, hey, we changed the date, right? So we have to work again the content. You have to book my time again, things like this. Everybody must work together to make it a successful thing. If that's only Justin that's working, he himself is working, the other people don't care, this thing will not work. Understand or not? That's the idea of connected versus non-connected. And to most of us, that work in a non-agile environment is very, very hard because we are designed to not connect, right? Marketing is not going to care about what sales is doing today. Right.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. I guess somehow the integration need to meet somewhere, even though from different departments, I guess, on Scrum. So coming up next is actually one of the questions from Ong. He is saying that Scrum and Agile is more on mindset alignment. So how to convince the team and collaborate all together to make effective delivery?
I'm gonna ask the team, hi team, would you like to be able to deliver twice the work in half the working time and relatively minimum or no overtime? Versus versus now everybody have to work on the weekend in order to meet delivery date and things like this. Would you like to have fun working compared to just stressful working? Your choice.
Yep, definitely. Oh, I think there's a more focused question over here as well. Angel is actually asking, how can we apply True Scrum to IT infrastructure environment? I think, Ethan, you used to be in the IT development environment before, right?
IT infrastructure sounds to me like the operation team or structure like that. It's actually not much different. The IT infrastructure focused people, they are changing everything to Agile as well. That's why you see the ITIL is upgrading itself, and so is all other mechanisms like the ITSM. Everything is moving in this direction. So everybody is moving to this new way of work. It's just that the question is not whether you are moving, whether you're changing. The question is, how far are you now? What's the degree of change you have incurred already? And if it's 0, sorry, you're very, very not in front, right? Think about Amazon. Amazon changed all this IT infrastructure, the way to manage it, the way to run it, everything from delivery to packaging to shipment to IT infrastructure to cloud. Everything in Amazon is driven by Scrum. And it's driven by True Scrum. So is Tesla.
Yeah, right? Very modern company that everyone knows, Tesla.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe I'm just going to take another last 3 questions because the time is about to end. So moving on to the next question, Charles is saying that with everyone working from home, we can't physically scrum anymore. How do we maintain the dynamics of physically scrumming versus virtually scrumming? I think, Ethan, you can...
I'm letting Rachel, you describe this because you see, even Rachel can describe this, right? To me, actually, there's not much different. If you do it our way, there's not much different. And even remote scrumming is more efficient than physical collaborated together scrumming. Rachel, you want to give?
Yeah, probably can share something with the audience over here. Actually, us, everyone in CI Agile, we are actually a remote team from different states in Malaysia. So frankly speaking, although working with Ethan for close to a year, we have never met before, but we have always used Scrum to manage our work, manage our decisions. And how we actually do it is we really want to talk to the team every single day. It's like everyone has to be very clear of what each and everyone is doing and meeting the business goals and stuff like that. And we also often swam together with our team members. So I believe people who are already practicing Agile or Scrum, I think swarming is a term that you guys have heard before. Basically, everyone come together to work on one top priority business item and get it clear to completely making it done. So whatever ways you do it, I think it's for the team to self-manage. we practice a lot of self-management over here. So we can always make appointments with each other to meet in Zooms. Thank God for the technology available. We can do Zooms. We can also make use of choose something like Miro or Mural, if you guys know about it. And I think some of you guys are using things like Trello as well. Basically, having something that is transparent to the team and having a tool to help you guys to collaborate better online. I think that's something that will help you guys for the virtual scrumming. Yep.
Yeah, to be fair, right? To be fair, right? True Scrum always encourage all the team members to think about business results. That's the direction that we are setting, right? And since you set that direction, everybody's optimizing their workflow for it. The traditional Scrum, which is non-true Scrum, or the, not to say traditional, the Scrum that you many have been learning nowadays that we don't categorize as true Scrum, ask you to follow a process. And hence, when you're going remote, right, your process break down because you follow a process that's designed to collocate and work with people. And the true Scrum does not rely on that process. It makes use of that process, but it's optimized for whatever the delivery business outcome. And so everybody in the team feel different. All right.
Yep. Okay. So last two questions. I think is no. Okay. I think the attendee is asking: is that practical if a company is practicing Agile while having operations team working separately as a BAU? I think it's a business unit.
BAU, business as usual. So you always change your organization incrementally. Nowadays, right, we don't do a big bang transformation. It's a very anti-pattern to do big bang transformation. So you always go one by one. And when you go one by one, right, you could start with one or two teams, and then one or two teams become a project, right? So your scope coverage become a project. And when it become a project, maybe you expand the scope a little bit, become a product, and become a product line, become a business unit like this. So become many more business units. So you change incrementally. So always control your scope of change so that you are able to digest quickly and you are able to deliver good result quickly. Don't change your whole company in one day. You can't do that. It's not like turning off the light or turning on the light. You change incrementally, right? So it is practical.
Totally agree with that. Changes has to be done phase by phase and part by part. Otherwise, everyone will get a culture shock. So, okay, the next question is, I think this is an interesting question because I've been hearing this from a couple of people. Like, how do you convince that all the ceremonies in Scrum are important? Because some people, they tend to choose whatever ceremonies that they want. For instance, stand up, it should be done every day. But these people tend to pick to do it like alternate days or 1 week once.
This is, you see, the focus is different.
Yep.
The one that asked this question, focus on process. Focus on the tardiness of the process. You are focused on process. You're trying to make people follow a process, and that's your main objective. I just say that when we are practicing True Scrum, that's not our first focus.
Yep.
So I'll leave leave the part that I don't answer for the person that asked this question to think about it himself. If you're trying to push a process, you're focused on the how to make this process happen and things like this. I'm telling you, that's not our point.
Yep. Got it. Okay, one last question. Can Scrum work well in a setup where the development team is not strong as the management team and cannot push back new requests? I think many people are facing this.
Yeah, you just have to work with your landscape. Everybody have different landscape in the company. Even the same company, different team, different department, they have the same, they have different landscape, right? So the way to practice the True Scrum is to look at your landscape and ask, under my current condition, what is the best way for me to go about to do things, right? So if your management is behaving like something else, your development team behaving like something else, you just have to take a look at this and position yourself. And this is related to your team design and how to connect your management with the team. This you have to learn a little bit. In order to effectively do this, you have to really take the class and learn the knowledge in the class. Yeah, Rachel.
Okay, I think we are almost done. Perhaps we are about time to close this session. But I think before we go, any last words from Justin on your end?
No, I think we are pretty good. We have summed up all the question and answers.
Yep.
So I think some of the folks are actually asking how do they get the free book. So I am just gonna leave my email address in the chat. All right. So for those who have requests on getting it, at the same time, we'll still follow up with you. If you are very eager, just drop me an email. I'll give you a guide on how you actually can obtain the book for free.
Yeah, there's quite a few people on the Q&A to ask about the True Scrum Discovery Kit as well. So
yep, I'm gonna just drop my email.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Just a gentle reminder, we'll be having another session on next Thursday itself, but it's going to focus on I think some of you asked questions on how to be more connected and stuff like that. I think if you come for the next week's webinar focusing on Scrum at Scale, you will get good answers on how to create high-performing teams as well.
I think you will have two very good case study, where one case study is a Malaysian company, take it and then implement it in their company. Immediately it works, right? So one case is from Malaysia, one case is not from Malaysia. I think it's probably coming from Hong Kong, in a very big famous bank in Hong Kong.
Yep.
Right? We cannot disclose the name, but it's a very big and famous bank in Hong Kong, right? So how do they make it work? Immediately work in their company, all right?
Yep. As for the TSDK, the True Scrum Discovery Kit, you guys can also reach us on CI Agile, or you can also reach me directly or Ethan directly on LinkedIn. So have a good day, everyone. See you guys next week. Thanks for coming. Have a great time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe, guys.